Hey guys, how's it going? It is... I don't know, what is this? What is the date today anyways? Oh, it's the 29th, okay. Oops. Relinquish that when it gets to the screen if you can. Thank you. Alright, October 29th, 3:35 p.m. Sunday afternoon, and as the title if I says, we got some humping to do still. We'll probably get some, I don't know, we'll see what happens here. Trying to judge the speeds of these humps. I'm not 100% certain what's best for it, but we'll see. Well, once I get the humps going again, I'll start my dishes and maybe I'll do some work along the house, and oh, we'll see. We'll see how it goes, but it's not going to be that exciting today. I noticed the last video didn't get any thumbs down, but that was probably because, hey, there's graphics. Ooh. But anyways, I'm not too worried about that. Yep, that's probably him complaining. I don't that either. So we're almost. It's complaining right now. Shouldn't. Told him to relinquish, so complain. Fine. Far back we going? Oh, I gotta go back to that one. Okay, well maybe I can see him complaining now. Suppose. Okay. So he has to come out over here. He is. He's complaining about that. We'll see. Because everything else is lined up for that, which is the way it's supposed to be. I don't have to change that. Here it comes. So yeah, I'm gonna try the first hump at 2 miles an hour, and then I'm gonna keep upping it. See if I come up with a correlation. I don't know if there's documentation that tells you what the speed should be. I thought I remember seeing something at one time that said 2. But then for Barstow, for some reason, we were doing it at 3, and I can't remember why. That's back on California. So I don't know what that was about, but... Supposed to relinquish when he stops anyway, so oh, keep going. Past the switch. Be really happy you can get past the switch. Yeah, looks like you're gonna get past the switch. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Press that switch. Oh, there we go. Awesome. That's what I want. How bad my microphone is these days. Still going down. Screw off. See, I can't apply it. That's what's really ticking me off. Is not bad, but man, you guys should be hearing me okay. I don't know why the hell it's doing that. Is it that mixer? I don't know. It's 100 now. Well, we'll see how long that lasts. I don't know what's knocking it down. 94 is not bad. I've seen it go down to the 70s and 60s. And such a pain in the ass. And I can't apply it. I've never seen such crap, to be quite honest. Maybe it's some admit function. I don't know. Whatever. Don't get me wrong, I know it's loud, so hopefully you guys can hear me now. It's about as loud as it gets right there. Yeah, I know I'm cheating. Okay. Time is frozen, so I don't care about cheating. Once we're back to reality, then I'll take away cheating. There. That was a good bang. So I'm thinking about doing two. Take a little bit. Oh, speed control off, you idiot. Okay, let's try 2.5. Okay, 2.6. We'll try 2.6. Doesn't like 2.6, then I'll have to stick with something lower. While it's doing that, oh crap. Too far away. Oh, there we go. So many tracks am I missing? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Supposedly I'm missing 11. Okay, I assume. So it should be 11 gaps in here, minimum, of course. Let's see a little bit more. Is that one? This one. Okay. 8, 12, 13, oof. 15, 16, wow. Oh, that doesn't matter. Forget where the other guy came from, but 20, I think 25. Do 33, 34. You have some in slough, so it's one of them. Enough. So this part's the slow part. I go a little bit faster and then set it, but it be temperamental to say the least. It got nothing to do with the route or anything. It's just trying to set it up. You want to have your throttle set and everything like that ahead of time so that slack's not an issue. I saw a message today about broken couplers. Now, I've had broken couplers on here, but that's usually has to do with a slack issue or braking too hard. I haven't seen anything when it gets too overfilled. And I'm not 100% sure what the overfill issue may or may not be. I haven't tried it too much. This is spread out pretty good right now. Got a bit of a fog. The openings too, anything from the random number generation to something that's not that much required, because you're not going to see as much come over here. So it might be really drowned out due to the random number generator. Whether it's, you know, a factual number under random numbers or issued number generation. I'm not 100% sure. But we'll see. Data analysis I'm going to do afterwards. Once I got this all set up, I may come back later tonight if I really, really want to. I got some other things that are starting to get on my mind. The schedule for this week is changing for me. First of all, I'm not going to be on tomorrow unless I come on tomorrow night after 9 p.m. because I'm seeing my son tomorrow versus Tuesday due to Halloween. Halloween, I'm going to hide around here and hide in my basement and not answer the door. Because that's just the way I am. There's 3 apartments here. I'm like, I'm not the main apartment, so I don't have to worry about it. If I'm not the main apartment, I don't care. I know. A humbug. Kid goes out and gets stuff. Hey, his mom's giving him stuff. I have to. Sorry. I've gone to places before on Halloween when I was a kid, and not every door had lights on and stuff like that. No, I am not giving away candy. It's because it's a tradition. You know? That's just the way it is. Crazy ass traditions people tend to follow. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, if I was still back at home or back at This is my. If I was still living with my ex, and I'm sure I'd be. In fact, I can say that because I've gone out for Halloween with him. So, but no, I'm really anti these goofy traditions. Anyways, yeah, it's a fun night, and night before people smash up pumpkins. Oh yeah, that's a lot. Whatever. Better thing. Do my time than waste money. We got enough financial issues in the world today without having to buy a whole whack of junk food or nutritious food or whatever you want to bring. That I'm not a humbug or anything. It's all marketing. Yes, people fall for it. And unfortunately, it doesn't help when everybody is given the same formula. It's culture. You have a kid, and they're not, they're made to believe that Halloween is cool and all that other stuff. Like I said, not against kids having fun. I think kids should have a lot of fun. And look at me, the anti Halloween guy. What did I do? I played video games with him the whole weekend. And man, did we play some fun ones. There's 3. The dishwasher going in a few minutes, actually. So I'm be certain that the hump controller is working. Looks like it is. Let's see what else do I want. Destinations. So yeah, we'll try 2.6. See how that goes today. It didn't like 3.0 or 3.1 or whatever the hell it was supposed to be. I'm gonna try 2.6. Because I know there's some variations, and I'm not 100% sure why there's variation, because I'm going a steady 2.6 on the engine. Unless there's something going on right at the hill here. Like, see, there's 2.6 right there. Where's? Oh, there it is, right here. Okay. Really, I can't tell. Well, I can tell the slack action. If I really wanted to. It really doesn't tell me much of anything. It's not bunching, it's not pulling. Normal to me. You see, I'm hearing it there, but I'm not seeing it. But yet, it's saying 2.7. Now it's saying 2.8. But yet, if I look at the speedometer, get it, it stays at a steady 2.6. So I guess we'll try it at 2.6. It's doing 2.7, 2.8 right now, so yeah, that's the way it is. I like being zoomed in. It's just it's hard to zoom in this yard. Here, let me try over here. I'll see cars eventually go that way. Go that way. Let's go with that. Yeah, that one did a 2.5. Ah, well. I guess as long as it stays below 3, it's just the problem is my speed control's at 2.6, so it seems to want to fluctuate, but I'll assume everything's okay. So right now it's doing, there's your A771s and then 772s. I'll keep an eye on that, see how it goes. So it did a bunch of 12s and it did 16s. Or that must have been an old one. Okay. Gotcha. Looks pretty cool anyways. Okay, I'm gonna get my dishes set up. I'll monitor this very closely, and yeah, I'll probably be doing some housework today. I got four to deal with, so that looks fine. Leave that one on. Looking good. Okay, I'll be back. Let's take this. Okay, that started. Wow, there's a lot of stuff going down there. So far, no broken couplers, but what is all that? Wow. I forget where Win is. Oh no, Win's the new stuff. That's all Atlanta? Can't be. No, that is all Win, because now the Atlanta's coming. Why can't I come up with what Win is? I don't know. I found a track. Atlanta. I don't know. I'd have to look again. Get some Atlantas and Detroits. So far, pretty nice. I see a 2.9 in there, so. Just use that around 2.6 and try to stay well enough below 3 so that if it does climb that much, it's not a big deal. But so far, so good. Of course, YouTube doesn't do a good job of scrolling around it. It gets blurry. At least for me. Good. I'll zoom it back out a tiny bit. See the whole yard. Oh. Evansville, Nashville. What are we doing? Winston-Salem? No. Winston-Salem, North Carolina? No. That ain't it. I don't know. I just can't think of what the hell that is. Gotta be an industry. Well, I can go take a look. It should tell me, it's only showing the industry name, but I'm not sure. Okay. I can't think of it. Callahan sub, alrighty. Good. Bring some empties. Nothing broken so far. New Orleans. Yeah, and sorry for the panning, guys, on YouTube, but do nothing. Some slow overhead thing, helicopter view. I don't know if trimming is going to be required today or not before I hump it all. I'm hoping not. But you gotta do what you gotta do. And this is where the reporting will come into play, but I don't want to work on the reporting today if I can help it. Looks like some fouling's taken place. Maybe there. I would say, yeah. So in some of those cases, we'll have to pull one before we pull the other, but that's okay. Not a big deal. That's looking good, I think. There, so far. Close, but good. That would be pretty cool if it had a helicopter view type thing. That speed's working really good, actually. Got 3 humps. So. There was an optical illusion there. I thought these guys were heading back. I know there's been issues apparently that something, I don't know what the issue exactly is, but I've seen this before, not under normal conditions, but when something's wrong. And I think it might be the broken coupler issue that may happen, where suddenly the cars will start coming back this way when they couple maybe too hard. I'm not sure. But it's looking pretty good so far. Come on, mouse wheel, give it to me right where I want it. Give me one more. I had it. Oh, I did have it. No. That's good. So I can see. Yeah, I should be doing housework, but getting the dishes done, and that'd be about the closest I get. Now, I do, at this point, well, I mean, my dishwasher's going and I'm going to need it before I start supper. So that'll be right around the 6 o'clock Eastern mark. I don't know where I'm going to be in this. If I find it's going to be cutting it too close, then what I made, well, we'll see. I can't. You know, I gotta start figuring out when I start these damn things. I say when I'm starting, but then I can't remember when the hell I started it. That was 3 something. I'll cycle the next one. I'll try to pay attention next time. See how long it goes, if everything goes okay. But we're doing good. We're almost through this hump now. There's a side of me that wants to get back into playing the game that I bought for my son and I for Halloween. I should have waited till the Halloween sale went on because I would have got $1 off on each. And I can't get the damn multiplayer to work despite the fact that I know how to host a server. I know how to port forward. It took me a while to remember how to port forward, but I did. And for the life of me, I can't get the damn thing to work. But there's apparently an issue going on with it. Substance is the name of the game. A bit of a, yeah, it's a bit of a gory game. I don't care. Sun can. It's fake. It's digitized blood or whatever. The X doesn't like it, but the X was saying in the car the other day, he says, well, as long as I don't know what's happening. Okay, good. She won't let him play it at his laptop at his place. That's her rules. I told her, you know, I told my son that. He's fine with it. He knows his dad will play, which I will. We finally found a game that him and I can play together, and I won't get bored as hell, or he won't get bored as hell. Because it works the same way. If I played this and I forced him to play with this with me, well, I would never force him anyways, but if I, you know, tried to... Oh, there's the broken coupler. Okay. Well, this is a known issue, apparently. Jesus, Murphy. There's only one. This is apparently a known issue. See, this is where they come backwards again. Okay. So you gotta set the handbrakes on. And it's by no means anywhere near overflow, actually. Where the broken coupler took place, I'm not sure. There it is. Okay, so I actually stopped the, I stopped everything. But that's okay, that wasn't too bad. That is a known issue, from what I understand. So, you know about it, they're gonna update that, from what I understand, so I will update my thread later on. So yeah, even, you know, if I was to do dishes or whatever, now you can see it's kind of coming the other way, so you got to be careful. Just one thing we'll have to keep an eye on. But they'll get it. You know, that's a tough one. I mean, to really, you know, and I think I'm a little bit harsh if I'm going at a speed that's above what they're supposed to be at, which I don't know what the speed is, so. But that, yeah, I don't know about that. But still, to be fair to them, to say, well, you know, it's not been tested or whatever, this is a lot of testing involved to really test this thing thoroughly. Especially using the way I've never seen that, even with the old random spawns that came in here. I've never seen that happen. I think I even said that in the post. I mean, I've seen it, but it usually had to do with too much slack on my side. I'm fine. Slack is fine. It is in perfect condition here. So that was at the end. We'll have to see what happens when the next set goes. I've seen like a lot. Like if you slam the brakes, I'd have a bunch of them. I had a real mess once up here. But it had nothing to do with the normal flow. So that was the first time I've actually seen that happen here. But I believe it is a known issue, because I think I read about it. But otherwise, that was a pretty good hump at 2.6, 2.7. I can live with that. I don't want to push it at 3 if 3 is causing problems. And what's odd is so that you break a coupler and it starts coming back the other way. That's something I've seen before. Usually, I see it on a ladder, and it can be a real PITA, especially if what's happening is it's happening at the very end as you're trying to not overfill a yard, but you're trying to fill it up to the max, and suddenly it does it, and then, you know, couplers or switches are thrown, and there's all kinds of mess. It could get really messy. We'll see what happens when the next one. I'll have to check the track on that. Okay, before I relinquish, I gotta make sure that the last cars for Moncrief go down. Or not Moncrief. Yeah, and I'm a loss. I know the name, it's just on the tip of my tongue. Alright, so make sure these guys get switched to the right one. Relinquish. In fact, it just switched now. I'm not sure what track is what, so. If it goes here, then we go. You always want to make sure everything else is in line, looking good. As soon as it clears that, I will let the yep, there we go. Not clear it, but actually set to go. So 423. way and get to so it can get past that next switch. No. Go that. Now the next one, there's the next 3 we have to do. 12 I think is just engines. I think 2 is engines as well. Up here now. Okay. So yeah, that's the one that we stopped. Everything else looking pretty good. I saw, like I said, there was a little bit of overlaps. That's okay. So this is what's going to be ultimately the big test. It's not like where I had it before. If you remember a video I filled up this yard, but that was all measured spawns. This is the actual pumping of an operation. So let's see where he stops. Got a new one, see? There we go. So I forget what kind of trains I've spawned or from what directions, to be honest. I should have kept that all down, but I didn't. So, I mean, yeah, like, for example, these before had 1. Or maybe they were already set as 1, but I don't know. I doubt it. Not when they're blocked like that, but then again, oh, I don't know. Loads first? Maybe. It looks like we're going empties and ass, so maybe that's why that went that way. It's possible. These might have filled up just today. So how we at for empty tracks now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. Not bad. Oh yeah, that guy's already stopped. This will be the big test, is these guys down here. Going a good 15, so I can watch him. Or if necessary, I can get the trim out while he's going that way, and we'll have to see how this goes here. Hopefully there's no more broken couplers. I did prematurely stop that spawn. I should have realized once it was only 1 car that it was in the bowl itself. See how that shoves that ahead, right? How far it shoves it ahead will be interesting, but it does stop. Question is, how much will it keep shoving it? Stop there. Still, I mean, regardless of any of that, I mean, there's nothing that I know of on the planet that can do this except for the real thing. So it is a very, very cool. I mean, like I said before, the hump was the best thing that came out for Run8 as far as I'm concerned, besides Run8 itself. This update is actually not so much, and I mean this route is certainly, the update is great, but the actual how the update worked as far as the filters is a big improvement for an operation. Not perfect, nor was it expected to be, but there's, like I said, there's a lot of pros versus cons, I think, now. And we'll see how the random data goes. There's another RTS-like software that's in development right now. As I've said before, if you guys are new to this, I have certainly given my kudos towards it. Let's, oh, never mind. It's one that hasn't been, we got this guy here. Like they're settling down nicely. Is that all of them? Looks like it. And of course those are gonna sit there because they'll get shoved along, so that's good. Where are we at now? Still coming, but he's starting to slow down, so. Of course, he's going 15 all the way through, so. Here, I'll just sit and wait for him. Okay. Of course, it's flashing. Well, it's flashing that I'm there, but once he comes through, I may wait. No, I don't have to wait. I can give it a good click once he comes through there. Be back in a second. I just want to check something. Hearing noises. Look outside. I think I flipped it. I flipped the wrong one. Oh, there we go. Awesome. From one side to the other, not bad. course, by then I'd be getting on the train. So now I'll go back to the hump operator view. Switch it over, I think I did. So now it's a straight shot instead of coming down this way like before. Which will probably overdo that one. I think we already... Well, maybe we didn't agree on that, but... Yeah, it's not too bad. I think we'll be okay. Put it up to notch 3 for a bit. Try to get a little bit of speed towards the hump. I'll set it up in case. I think we're fine there. Not that it matters, but because those were placed in. Oh yeah, we're fine. So we're all the way up to 6 miles an hour now. I'll back off on this or try to... Wow, like I couldn't even see the cars for a minute. Okay, pump controller configuration's already on. I had to think about that for a second. Wow. Okay. Let's see where we're at here. Let the throttle off. So I'm hoping I can time this or figure out an efficient way of getting it up there without having to use a lot of brakes there. Because once you're going 10 miles an hour, it's hard to slow it down. Now, I'm not using any brakes right now. I'm hoping that once he hits the hill, things will gradually slow down. Well, they already are gradually slowing down, but they'll slow down even worse, which is good. But we'll see. No throttle at the moment. Just letting it coast. Kind of what I did when I came in. So 4:23. It was about 20 minutes ago that I let the engines off here. So that gives about a 20-minute turnaround. Mind you, I'm controlling it now, so if it was just me, I can't do it. Turn around 10 of it. If I wanted to pull a string out, which I could. We'll try 2.5. I think, I don't know what the hell we were at, 2.6 or something like that before. So it slowed right down. Try 2.5, that should work fine. The last one worked out no problem at all, so that's good. Just struggling to get its balance right now, but we're in good shape. So once I have, and this is another big plan, we're zoomed in now, so it looks a lot closer. Of course, we got this one, which will be interesting. That could cause some issues. Let's see that happen. Let's see. In fact, I should check what track that was, just to be on the safe side. So we're at a steady 2.5 now. Everything's starting to go good. So that's a New Orleans track, which there's been a lot of traffic going that way. I don't know what this train has. I have to be on the lookout for it or not, but let's see here. Locals first. Now I'll get to the part about the monitoring in a moment. Well, it should have some New Orleans. I was going to say, there they are. Not too many on the load side. How about the empties? Here they come right there. Three empties, so not too bad. I don't know about the other trains, if they're similar or not. Some of them could be coming from that direction, actually. Well, we already got 724 going to Slough, so that has to be set up down the road. Figure that out. So let me just take a look at these. See, that's got Callahan sub as well. Now that one does not. That's going right to the F sub and S sub, which... Oh no, there's Callahan sub. No, I'm looking at the other one. Okay. See, I didn't see any C sub, so this train here came from the Callahan sub. I can tell but just by looking at it. So I've got one more that's got to come that way. Okay. Good to know. See how it's going. I'll keep a careful eye once New Orleans brings its cars down. There's a lot in it right now, but I don't think there's going to be that much more after that, so we'll see. Now, I was talking about the monitoring stuff on this. What I mean about all that, Slough track's going to be interesting to see. But anyways, the monitoring is all about basically this. That's not it. That's not what I want to say. Hopefully that didn't screw anything up. I don't think it would, but... I should be doing Control L? Oh, Control L. Okay, there we go. So, right now there's nothing in any of these, or as far as I know there isn't. No. But there's the hump one. So that is going to be one that... Do I have an industry configuration for hump? Oh yeah, see now I can see now I can look at the names just like that. Winston. Let's say Winston-Salem. South Carolina, Winston, Florida. Makes sense. Montgomery, the knew it. What's that? But what the monitoring will do is from the screen that I just showed you. If you and I didn't check the configuration. I meant to do that. Yeah. I'll get to my my point of view. So I do have a hump configuration, which I won't transport to, but somewhere in here I started a test one, but I don't seem to have it. I don't know what track it was set on. Probably one that's empty now. But what it did was it listed every car on it. The thing is, I can go ahead and I can use hump as the train identifier, which is what the engines are. And I can do two things. Number one, if I'm, and it may not be called hump, I may call it, I may change it over to Waycross, which I probably will. All the tags of engines in these yards will have Waycross on it. And what'll happen is the industries, I'll get rid of the hump and then I'll create basically fake industries. Except they're not going to call anything. They're going to call junk intermodal or whatever the hell it is that I had set up. And all it's for is to report what's in those tracks. Period. Works like a charm. Not only does it work like a charm from a visual standpoint as you're an operator, which is changes on the fly, but from a planner as a yardmaster, I can take that data, export it to the industry not the industry configuration, but the not the switch list too. It's one of the reports. Maybe it is the industry, but I'm not sure. But there's a report that will list every car at every industry, and that can then be imported into a sheet, and then I can take that sheet and I can manipulate the hell out of it with formulas, automatically parsing the data, doing whatever I need to do. For example, what's the length of an acid tank car? I can find out. Do I have enough capacity to handle what's in the receiving yard? Does it need to trim first? Does, you know, stuff like that. I'll be able to pretty much at a glance be able to do this from a session by session basis. Now, of course, you have to be able to pin the data on relinquished trains. So the hump, not so much the hump, but the engines aren't so bad, but you can't be connected to a train when you pull the data. Same with the switchers or anything like that. So switchers can't be connected to the trains to report them, or else it doesn't get considered as part of the industry, because it's not technically theirs. So it doesn't start counting hours, it doesn't start doing anything. Now, counting hours, it doesn't matter. It's just going to show it because it's garbage. It's not going to call cars, it's not going to do nothing. All it's meant to do is report. And it's going to report on everything. It's going to tell me the capacity. That's coming soon. I really want to get back to sessions, but at the same time, before I get back to sessions, I want to have that reporting in place. I may do that tomorrow night. I'm actually kind of getting in the mood to do it tomorrow night, considering I'll probably be playing that video game with my son. Yeah, I'll be playing that video game with my son tomorrow night, so I'm not going to want to play it. I do want to play it myself now, on my own, in my own little world, because you can have up to 5 configurations. So I do want to play that game by myself tonight, and because it's very addictive, very fun, and I might even live stream it. Who knows? We'll see. He might like it. I don't know. I'll have to let him know. In fact, he might. Well, I don't know. He might want to watch it. I don't know with him. Actually, you know something? He's allowed to watch on YouTube. This is crazy. He's not allowed. He's not allowed to play, but he can watch on YouTube. I might live stream it, and then I'll have to be careful what I say, because they could be watching it. They could be watching this live stream for all I know. Yeah. It's just kind of, I don't know, it's kind of weird when there's so much violence and crap on TV, and I got rid of my cable. I mean, it's probably not as, but it's graphics, or quote unquote graphic violence. But they put a nudity claim on this, but all they do is they can walk around in their underwear. You can rip your pants off and use it as a bandage, just like you would in, you know, a survival situation. Well, you can do it in this game. Pretty cool. I think it's an awesome game. Actually, I think it's a great learning game personally, but you know, it is what it is. It's not my rules. So I'm not going to worry about it. I just find it a little amusing. So yeah, I might do my first substance live stream tonight. See how it goes. Why not? I've got, my bandwidth has exploded. I don't know how the hell that happened. I was trying to get rid of services, and I thought they were trying to offer me a deal, but apparently our package got upgraded, so they're making it sweeter. They went from 100 gigabytes a month, which I was paying a little bit of extra for anyways, and then they upped the price to that amount, and now you get 350 gigabytes. I'm like, whoa, okay, that changes everything, because number one, if I'm someone, I'm like, well, maybe I don't have enough video to watch all my shows streaming. Well, guess what? I do now, if I really want to. Oh, here's the New Orleans. I gotta watch this. Gotta watch this. This could get a little dicey. And I'm not gonna stop the hump either. I think I'll let it go, unless it goes crazy. So track 45, New Orleans was causing the issue. Is that New Orleans cars, or we got, now we're into, okay, so those are the Tampas. Here comes the 2 sets for New Orleans. See how it goes. And they'll iron out these bugs. I'm not worried. These little bugs here, I'm not too worried about the broken couplers. You just have to be aware of it and take certain measures, that's all. It's the ones where your hump controller all of a sudden stops and everything, and your train's still going, and you have to, you know, slam the brakes and brake couplers, and it's not fun. This hump's looking good, guys. It's filling up nicely. This is the 3rd train, so I got 2 strings right now on the these are the start of the Tampas, but that's the New Orleans right there. They're going to come to a parked set of cars due to a broken coupler up that way. Question is it going to cause another broken coupler? If it does, I might go over there just to see what is happening. So this is where the broken coupler started, was over that way. So we'll see. I don't know if it had something to do with those cars or what. Okay. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Definitely still into Run8. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I have these other addictions, but I got a nice balance now. I had a nice balance with my son. Even just to not get too carried away with this. And don't make no mistake about it. We got lots of plans for next week. We like to get out. We didn't do much. We didn't go outside much at all this weekend. Kind of wet here. Waiting to see if the weather changes, and looks like I might be able to get this dishwasher finished up and have supper sometime before the end of the humps tonight, by the looks of it. That's good. Kind of wanted to multitask, so I'll stop talking then when that. You guys enjoy the action. But let's see what happens here. I don't expect an issue here. At least I don't think so. I don't think it's the track. I don't know. I don't know how these things work. They go at a certain speed, so maybe this one's set to go too fast and it's causing an issue, but I'm not sure what the issue actually is, to be honest. So far, no issues on this hump. We'll see. And perhaps it's on this track, you know, the New Orleans track or whatever. And as long as I know, then I can keep an eye on it. Here we go for the first couple. This will start rolling now. No broken couplers yet. Now, question is it going to break when it gets to there? These are pretty heavy. I wonder if it has something to do with that. Okay, let's see what it does. Watching carefully. I'm still going. Pretty good. Oh, I see. There's a little bit of slack action going on there now. We got another one. Might be the slack action that's taking place, who knows? You know, see how it bounces back? That's a lot of weight. But it did okay that time. So New Orleans is coupled up. You get all that weight and it starts shoving it down this way. And again, the reporting would tell me if there's any potential overloads. This track is starting to get really heavy. Actually, it's a New Orleans track that's getting heavy. Maybe I can see that some of these longer tracks are causing issues. Still got nothing down there. Maybe there is. There might be an intentional gap left. Some of them they were. Oh, that's a view. Look at that, huh? Looks pretty awesome. That's running out of room real quick too. Well, not really. See how it goes. Is that an industry or is that the slough? That's a slough track. It is. I'm positive. Looks like it is. Thought I saw two different things there. 784. $754. That to me looks like the slough. Good place for it, but I don't know. We'll see. Loaded Tropicana cars, I guess, for Birmingham. And so far, not too many. Oh, we got a B09. 3766. Do I have cars in 9? I can't remember. I got some in one of them. I tell. A new one too. Oh, I got a 6. Ooh. Oh, there's another slough. Good stuff. So there's the slough there. I wonder if that's... I can't tell from this end. If it's that track, I think it is. If he's going down slough, then that makes sense. And the reporting, once I get it in, it's also going to play into my departure schedules, so it'll allow me to get an idea of what cars I do have, the power requirements, because I'm going to have all the weight on every car, so I'll know what HPT requirements I have. It's going to have everything. It's going to be super cool. I don't think you'll have, personally, I can't think of it being anywhere else, because I haven't heard of it, such a thing done anywhere else. So this is going to be one of those, another one of those breakthroughs that really redefine what multiplayer is for Run8, as far as I'm concerned. And that's where I want to take, you know, that's where I want all my RTS ideas to come from, is stuff that I think of that can benefit, you know, not just us, but anybody really, if they want to use it. Oh, here comes some more New Orleans cars. I forgot about the empties. I don't have too many. Looks like this guy here is a new loaner. That's good. Looks like we got one on 5. I think that's 5. And that is the slough track. And it is, other than New Orleans, which seems to be starting to really fill up. I might have to keep an eye open for that last one. How are we at for time? So, 23 minutes after. We're almost an hour, actually. Which is kind of telling. We're getting really close to the hour mark now. It's a big yard to go through. So if it takes an hour to hump a train at Waycross, I forget how many we deal with here. About a dozen? I think. I think there's a dozen inbounds. Sure. Well, it's 12 noon. I mean, I haven't really dealt with 6. Got 5, but most of the inbounds start from overnight and then it gets quiet, so yeah, we'll see. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting the reporting in. It's not going to be so much. I mean, there's going to be a lot of redundant data because, or redundant setting it up. That's why I kind of don't want to do it tonight. I'd rather do it on a night that I've already had some fun and I've got a couple hours to throw in. The receiving yard won't take long. The hump yard, yeah, that's going to take a while. I may do the hump yard first just to get it out of the way. And then I can do the receiving yard. Yeah. Hard to say. Probably do it around the same time. I may have to modify the reporting. That might take more. I can't see doing it all on Monday night. Tuesday will be a regular session. I don't think I'm going to run a session tonight. At this point, I just can't. I'm not into it tonight. Not that much. I'd rather spend a few hours, which means, you know, yeah, okay, I'm spending more time doing the other, but you know, I've still got, what do I got? 2 more humps to do. Looks like it. So yeah, if I got 2 more humps to do, that means I'm going to be probably here until I would say 7 Eastern. I'm definitely not going to start running a session. This was something I was hoping to get done. I don't know why I was thinking it was going to take a decent amount of time. Ooh, there's the New Orleans over there. I think the other guy's behind him. I'll have to watch that carefully again. Wouldn't be a big deal, they're just empties. I think it was the loads that caused the problem last time. I can't remember. Looks like they just coupled. No issues. I'm hearing the bell too, so... It's gonna be close to an hour. I'm gonna give it an hour each. It's gonna be more like 50-55 minutes by the sounds of it. Probably 55, but I'm gonna give it an hour each hump. So that's something for planning purposes to keep in mind. If I stick at 2.5 miles an hour, if I'm going up to 3, it isn't going to really increase it that much. 2, it was like saving a third, but not really, because you still have to get through the yard and all that other stuff. So. I'm getting hungry, and I'm hoping my dishwasher stops soon. Dang, that yard is looking good. Even if it's not perfect, it's still looking pretty damn good. And I really want to get the data in there too. So Monday night's going to be a perfect night since my schedule is varied. Tuesday will be the first test session since we've got the since the new update, so that'll be good. Give it a good go around, run a good test session in there, 3-4 hours, see how it goes. So that I'll be running the hump. I'll be doing other things. I'll have an emergency. Might ride some trains, and then hopefully I'll have enough data in place so I can make informed decisions, and you know, we'll see. I imagine there's going to be some trimming taking place by then. If not tonight, I hope I don't have to do it tonight. I don't really want to, but New Orleans is getting pretty big right now. Oh, he just had a broken coupler. Where did I have it? Was it right here? Did it happen right here? I think it did. It happened right in front of me? Really? Oh no, it happened right here. This time it was Tampa, okay. The cars were going backwards. I hit the independent brakes, so I don't know if I screwed up. I got all jiffery here. How's that? Yeah. There we go again. Well, this is going to make it very interesting. So that was just the only one. Okay. I don't know why I was going backward, unless I hit the brakes and then I let go and... Not the end of the world. It's not a big deal. You just have to be prepared. But that's a simple solution. You just hit the brake, fix the coupler. Really minor. They're working on it, so I'm not too worried about it. But man, look at that hump yard. And how's my frames here down here? Let me just see. Okay, I run at 20. I run at 20. It's 12 noon. I mean, this is good. There's nothing. Whoops. We're gonna stop here. Alright. So I just gotta make sure that the Moncriefs are... Why do I keep calling it Moncrief? It's not Moncrief. And I want to call it Moncton, and I get that... I guess my memory's all screwed up. I want to say Mobile, Alabama, but that ain't it. It's, yeah, I'll get it right. Well, what's this crap? Something went the wrong way. Oh boy, here we go again. We were at 2.5 miles an hour, so we're having issues with the smallest cars and the biggest cars, it seems. It seems like there's an average. Well, at least it knows which one. It's just a pain. Okay, wait, stop. I don't know what track you're supposed to be on, but you're not supposed to be there. No, you're definitely not supposed to be there. Louisville. Okay. The fun continues. Louisville's okay. You're not supposed to follow Louisville. And yet I go down there again and it doesn't do it, so... Dang. It did it right at the end, too. I don't mind the the broken couplers, but this one's annoying. Now they are going to add the manual switches back, apparently, so that you can actually override those or something, which will be good because if it's going to keep doing this crap, I want to be able to override it. I got lucky there though because there's cars that are already set for it, so. Try this one more time. Usually the second time through it's fine. These humps these humps do not like these big cars. I don't know why. They do not like smaller cars, too, in big bunches. I'm assuming there's an average going on, and it's not calculating the lengths. Is the only thing I can think of, which is reasonable. It's not an easy thing to do. I mean, you think about it. You watch all those cars that are coming down, and you see what they're doing. Now there was issues at Selkirk with the big cars as well. The issues at Selkirk were also had to do with the curvature. I haven't seen that here. I haven't seen the curvature issues where it just says it's like off in Never Land, and turn the speed control off. Get this done. Stay within a reasonable speed. I'll just set the speed control again when we get to the top. So there's my hour right there. I'm at the 1 hour mark right now. I thought I was done. I was just saying how beautiful it looked and everything, and like all of a sudden I was like, wait a minute, the hump controller just went. Like, dang. It's okay, they'll get through it. Hopefully I will too. And I'm not going to change anything on my end to do anything about it. It's just, there'll be an update eventually, they'll figure it out. It's just annoying. Just like the explosions were, and they figured it out. I know they figure these things out. I just wish they had figured that one out beforehand, but these things happen. Okay. Like I said, usually the second time through it's fine because the switch is already set, and we should be good to go. So, do I need to reset the hump yard? I think I do. Has everything stopped? I think that has. Okay, good. Look at that though. That is awesome looking. It really is. And we're getting close for cars on New Orleans. We only got one more train for that, I think. So, if my memory serves me correctly. Okay, let me turn it on. I'll reset the hump yard. Auto pin puller on, and here we go. Try one throttle at first and see how it does. It won't happen this time. It'll actually go through, like I said. Now, it's in between. Now, had it not been in between and there was something after, it might have had an issue again, but I don't know what the cars were before it, but I believe it has to do with the size. And the cool thing is, oh, I haven't set it yet. I gotta make sure it sets. No, it hasn't set. We'll find out. Hopefully it doesn't do it again, because I'll be really ticked. just want to make sure it's going to a track that it thinks it should be going. I don't know when it sets it up the first time after a reset. I imagine it goes here. Where's it going? Here? It's supposed to come down here. Which is right. Okay, good enough. I'm convinced. Not bad. 1 hour, 3 minutes. So again, it looks really, really good. Dishwasher might be getting close to being done too. Okay, well, while I go check on that. Just switch up over here next time. Wait till he goes through first, then I'll set it. So you'll see the progression as it comes through the switches. See, here he is now. It's coming by here. Next crossover will go right in a second. Next. We'll start going back to green behind him, yep. For this one to go, once that goes, I can click it. Go. Want to get this set up for him to come through next time. So now I'm going to, once again, I'm going to wait for somebody over here. I go a lot further this time, but it's okay. Oops. Fair enough. Here, we'll zoom it in for a second. Coming through here. Okay. Should come through the fog. Should have his headlights on full, so I'll be back in a minute. I'm just going to check and see what the status is here. I still got 17 minutes. Oh. Well, 17 minutes before I can cook supper. So yeah, it's a little bit of a pain. Fortunately, it happened at the right time. And it didn't cause too much of an issue. And again, like for the time the AI runs, I could have my trim. I could be moving my trim around while this happens. I can get it set up. I don't even know if I have the trim units spawned yet. But I could have it all set up. I could also go ahead and select it as an AI, pull it all the way out, and do whatever I have to do. So I mean, there's a lot of multitasking that can be done. At the moment, I'm not too worried about it, but there's certainly, I mean, all it takes is 10 minutes of manual movement. So as you can imagine, I can pull out one track, I can pull out one, or I can set up two, or whatever number of tracks I feel is necessary to pull. Then I can look at a report on that reporting that I'm talking about, and then I can know what, what needs to be trimmed, what needs to be built. Um, I can move power around. I can do all kinds of things while this is happening. But once I have the hump in operation, then my hands are tied. Not only my hands are tied in the yard, but my hands are tied from actually. I don't know if my hands are tied for running. I'm just trying to think. No, I can't even run on another train. I can go to different locations just like I'm doing right now, and see meets and stuff like that, but I can't even run on a train like I used to do. Um, while I ran a server or whatever and had nothing better to do, right? So when the hump's in operation, I can do a little bit of virtual rail fanning as long as I'm paying attention to what's going on. I'm not too sure. I imagine the hump controller will still show the same messages no matter where I'm at. So at least I'll know what's going on. But then to have the reference, if I think something's getting tight, then of course I'm going to be here to visually see what's happening. But those error messages are what's going to get me. Um, they're the ones that are going to get my attention the most. But from a planning perspective, I can plan this out. I mean, I get 1 hour lunches. A lot of times I'm bored after 30 minutes. I mean, don't get me wrong. I go out for a walk every day if I can do it. But I do have time to go through these things at work sometimes in my spare time. So, I mean, why not? Okay. Making his way, and then of course I manually set it up, and then once he's all set up to go, I can monitor it or do whatever I need to make sure everything looks okay. But the reporting is going to be awesome. I am so looking forward to that. And hopefully, I mean, there's a lot of mundane work still to do. So by no means, and I know I've been getting some thumbs up because people like these videos and they want to see more of that. Well, you're going to see more of that. Don't get me wrong. But it also takes work in between, and I appreciate those that have supported me and have actually said, yeah, I want to see how you do this. I want to see how you do this. So I'm basically letting you know what my plans are this week. Tomorrow, right now, unless I suddenly change my mind because of something else, the plan is to go through and start setting up fake industries for every track that is in this yard. I'm probably not going to start with receiving since it's empty. I'll start with the hump. It's going to be the toughest one because I have to go through every one of those tracks. I'm just trying to think now if I need to. Yeah, I do. I have to set it up as separate industries. So every one of those tracks is going to be set up as they might have the same train that serves it, but it's going to be set up for hump 64, 63, blah blah blah. So I know what track it's on. So yeah, it's going to be quite the interesting feat to say the least. Yeah, I'm not a knucklehead. I know what I'm doing, so shut up. John. I still haven't found the toilet, or I haven't found the toilet that flushes. Where the hell is that? I heard it was in the new 70s or something. I went in and I looked the other day. Mind you, it was the unpainted ones, so maybe they don't have them in the unpainted ones, but that's possible. Maybe you have to have a. I'll have to take a look in the bigger units. Okay. I'm gonna try to do this all in one fell swoop if I can. Well, we'll see how slow he's going when I get there. So first of all, yeah, I want you to relinquish when you're stopped. Then, this guy that's flashing here, I'm going to set up the switch. As soon as that goes gray, I'm going to escape out of that and jump on this engine. If I can. Oh, that's going to be tough. Yeah. Watch for the light change. There it goes. See, it just changed to white. I'd stop him right now, but the AI's to try to stop him in a perfect spot is kind of tough to do anyways. Of course, I gotta be over here anyways to sparring him up. Yeah, because the way the ladder is, I mean, I could have done that and hopefully he would have stopped, but he could have been fouling by the time he stopped, so that's okay. Just like that. That was a switch that went white. It came up from. Kind of makes you feel like you're part of more than just one person at a time. Little things. So you notice the frame rates are goofy here, but the hump is fine. See, that's flashing around, and that's what I thought. I'm not sure what's causing it, but Sure everything is set up the way it's supposed to. Wish that worked. I wish it showed cars that weren't part of the tags. It does it with the industries, but it doesn't do it. But that's okay. The reporting will at least help it. We'll know. Drift a bit. It's basically an art. You gotta know when to. You gotta know your surroundings a bit, and I'm learning it. So what I did there is I cut it out at about 7 miles an hour. If it's 10, it seems to be too fast for the end of that track. If you get it down to 7, by the time you reach there, just before that last switch, or the last crossover, I should say, not the last crossover, like the middle crossover. I know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, that's it. That middle crossover. So not the last crossover, but the one that it's on right now. Just before it gets to there, cut it out at 7 miles an hour or so. It seems to, for the most part, drift pretty good. And gets me set up to get ready to put it at 2.5, put the speed control back in at 2.5. Once I have it, the throttle's totally off right now, but once I have it, then I can start going up to throttle 3 again, slowly, of course. I probably could have gone 8. There we go. Now we're up to notch 3. Final check on the hump controller. Everything's good. Final check on issues that I anticipate. It's possibly... Oh, there's my dishwasher just in time. Tampa's shouldn't be an issue. New Orleans may. But I'm going to take a look at New Orleans. And then once that gets going, I am going to get my supper started because I have dishes. That's a good sign. Oh, this one doesn't have the New Orleans. Okay. Or does it? Did it? Oh, that's F sub. It's a Fitz. Yeah, this one came from Callahan sub. It's going to be that last one. Should be okay for issues on this one. Well, other than what randomly decides to happen. I can do with that. But... So I will keep an eye on this. Things start to rock and roll here. We'll look at it normal view for now and see what happens. I'm just going to start my supper. I'll be back. Alright. My craft dinner is... I probably mentioned before, I got boxes of this stuff, loads of it. I probably should, maybe they should call the authorities on me for cruelty to children or whatever, but I've been trying to get my son into it. I know, and believe me, trust me, I know how bad it is for you. I shouldn't say how bad it is for you. I mean, there's so much crap that's bad for you now. I mean, you know, that people just don't know about, but... yeah. But it's cheap, and it helps my lazy ass, and whatever else. All comfort food, whatever, so... like I said, I drink cola. I've backed off on that a little bit, but not as much as I would like. But you compare it to... and the thing is, the price. You compare it to what's out there, and you know, and... hell, I had to cut my cable. To what, wouldn't cut my internet. I considered it. Be back in a minute. Mr. Noodle's another one, but I don't I mean, I don't mind it, but it's another one of those cheap. There's so many different cheap foods out there that you can have for supper. Spaghetti's, honestly, spaghetti's a really good one. My son doesn't like it. And I know personally how long it takes to prepare it. And I wouldn't do spaghetti sauce from scratch anyways, because I'm not a big fan of tomatoes. So I like most canned tomato sauce versus homemade. I'm not a tomato person. don't like the texture. I don't like tomatoes in my food. Or, you know, it's got to be processed pretty damn good. So, nope, not a big fan. But funny, my ex-mother-in-law was the one that said one day. And this was, you know, yeah, I'd go to Subway and I would try to watch what I was eating, but I was eating way too much fast food to begin with. And basically said, I mean, between craft dinner and fast food, what's worse for you? I'm like, I don't know. She suggested, you know, if you're gonna do something, you might as well get craft dinner, and I'm like, yeah. And boy, did that save me a lot of money. Hopefully it saved my health a little bit, but I mean, the lesser of two evils, perhaps? I don't know. Probably need to find myself a girlfriend again eventually. It's been, what was it, 3 years? Somebody who enjoys cooking. Someone to eventually, you know, share expenses or whatever. I mean, my job is steady. Not good. Funny thing is, I deal with the whole industry, with the food processing industry, which is kind of interesting. Nothing bad. I mean, just, you know, what you know, just how the machines go through the various vegetable processing. A lot of potatoes, other vegetables as well, carrots. I don't know if they do. I imagine they do the fruit stuff as well, but I'm not sure. And we're not talking about little food processors. We're talking about major corporations that deal into food processing. So I ship a receiver, but I also get to do the logistics as well as the I do the logistics as well as the customs. So it's a job I like. Actually, this past week was one of the back to normal weeks for me. It's kind of the calm before the storm, because I know it's going to get really busy. So I'm just bracing myself. Yeah, I know it's going to get really busy. Harvest season is very awkward, and this is the season where things start really starting to push. As you get a huge supply coming in, and it's just a matter of dealing with it. And the funny thing is, despite all that, I don't get any overtime, which is fine. I like it that way. Talk to you more about that in a minute. I gotta check my food, if you call it that. Let it go. Talking too long, I forgot to start. Got a minute left, so. Yeah, well, I'm supposed to stir it every 3 minutes, microwave it for 9. So I missed that one, but that happens. Got track 63 in Syracuse. Nice. If I turn the bell on, not a big deal, but and it calls. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, one box. Boom. Cool. Yeah, I heard the stupid ass repeating the stop signal call thing. Said before, I wish there was some way to stop that because that got my attention. I was over there by the microwave. I'm like, what the hell is that? They should have the Star Trek, you know, since they got the Star Trek comm frequency sound. They should do the red alert alarm when there's an issue, like when the hump goes up. It'd be really cool. Don't mind me. I'll stop talking while I eat here. Enjoy the view. Looking good. If I have another broken coupler this time, I'm not going to stop my train. Deal with it. So some of the comments I was receiving, I guess this was what people were looking forward to seeing. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up on the YouTube video. Boost these things up and see how it goes. I understand why there's thumbs down on days that I don't do the graphics. Like I said, it takes a lot of behind the scenes work to get that stuff done, and I try to warn people ahead of time what I'm going to do, so might be a learning for some, so yeah, we'll see. Tomorrow night's going to be one of those nights. I'm just going to get into it. I'll get into this program, but it'll be a lot of repetitive setting up of tracks and see how it goes, but could get pretty boring. But it'll be fun by the end of the night because then I'm going to apply it. That's one of those stupid stop red signal things again. Then I'll apply the data and that should be worth it. So in order to set up those tracks, what I'll do is I'll go into a blank world and do everything, set it all up. Then once I have it set, I'll load in the RTS world, this is, and we'll take it from there. Should be seeing all the data, what cars went where. I won't tell you how many trains there are, but I'll have to go through that and see what, you know, how many trains there were and what there should have been as far as an average number of cars. Ah, had it. Broken coupler somewhere. Where was it? Let's find it. Dang. I just replied to one of those messages. Okay, where is it? There it is. And stop traffic. Told you I wouldn't. Turn the bell on. That's my warning that I'm going to have to stop the train soon. Okay. Well, that's an issue. I'll have to reply it. That was Jerry who posted that tonight, and I replied because it hadn't really been happening to me, and that's not really an overflow. That's... I can't explain what the hell that is. It's not that far up. That's just a lot of slack action that's causing issues. At least it's only happening to one coupler. The way it happened for me before was it was happening when I tried to use a lot of brakes because of other hump issues. So, Jerry, if you're watching, there we go. But I know they know about this issue. They're well aware of it. So you got to be aware of that. That's going to happen. That's how you stop it. If it now the problem is if it gets too overfilled, people are going to really have to pay attention. So I'll have to be on my toes probably the next hump. This might happen more than once. I think it has to do with the slack action and getting too many cars in there. And I'm surprised the physics is so required. Because a lot of this is just automated AI stuff, right? I don't have AI running either, so other than the ones that are stopped out there, but no, I don't actually. No, I do. I have 3 trains, but they're all on standby. I don't think that affects it. The thing is, with New Orleans, though, it happened the train prior to the last one. So it didn't happen last time. Thing that happens every now and then, I guess, depending on the weight. I had cases of this stuff. I got 2 cases of Kraft Dinner left, so 12 each. 12 packs each. That'll last me a month. A lot of people set up for survival food and all that other stuff. I'll be fine. If I had one of these a day, I don't think I would start. No. Would I want to have one of these a day? Probably not. Say things were shifting. Be sure to, as long as I remember, I'll reply to Jerry if Jerry's not watching tonight, and I don't know if he does watch it out, to be quite honest. He was a big follower of my other Selkirk project, so he was my main guy. I'm not too sure if he follows my YouTube videos at all. These are very long videos. Make no mistake about it. I don't kid people. I don't watch live streams myself. Although I did, my son and I watched a live stream this weekend for 2 hours. Actually, it wasn't a live stream. It was a video later on. And I don't do all the. Some of these places do a live stream. They got a little cup in the corner for donations and the chat messages and all that other stuff. I don't have another screen for fun. I'm sitting on my couch eating my dinner. They'll show who's donated and how much and have goofy graphics, and it's weird. And I mean, that's great. It helps promote their, give them money. So, I mean, they're doing it for a living, so. Basically, they're digital beggars is what they are. Well, I shouldn't say that. They're actually performing a service, so I shouldn't say that because they're certainly something that I watch. I don't donate usually to YouTube videos myself, but I also don't ask for money, so. But I can understand being in that position, and there was a time where I thought maybe I would try to do the whole payment thing with YouTube or whatever. Yeah. Not for me. I could go with the Patreon route and all that other stuff, but come on. I mean, this is such a micro niche. The number of views I get is nothing to make any money off. It's not worth my money. I do it because I like doing it. Period. And that was supper. Just like that. Okay. Supper tonight, but that's okay. 6 o'clock. Or if I'm with my son, sometimes it's later. Especially if we're playing video games. Video games that don't let you sit back and relax and watch cars going over. Well, we're almost at the end of this one. I think we made up a little bit of time, so. Should be, if all goes well, just past the 7:15 mark, and I'll be ending it tonight. Just wondering if I needed trim anywhere. I don't think so. Excuse me. It's awesome. Absolutely awesome. I hate that stop for red signal thing. You know, you're stopped for red signals. I'm not dispatching right now. I need a little pop-up box that just says, you know, ignore all future requests, or we'll call you when we're ready. Call back in 5 hours. You know, something like that. Train Dispatcher used to have that. Where you could have them set to call back in a certain amount of time or something. Only one more to go. I wonder if I got the trim units down there. Should get it set up. We'll take a quick look. I don't think I do. Do I? No. I had it set up down here. I did it one time and I think I deleted it or something. That's not trim units, that's the... Okay. I don't even know what I want to use for trim units, to be honest. I can use any. I can use some of these. I probably will, actually. SSD60s. Yeah. Never mind. Don't ask me why I said that. Pretty good. At least the middle one did. I don't think I want to use those big units, but I like when you get the little ones in there. Just try to get a couple of the little ones, maybe. I want it. So we got an SD40. A couple SD40. Do we have one? I think we had one more over there, didn't we? Ah, that means I have to switch them out? We don't want to do that. I could, but I don't want to. Ah, well. Give me something to do. Hello, Moon. Let me see you there. The last cars are going to Birmingham. There they go. I think that was it right there. Yep. Just reading that. South forwarding ready used for trains headed to Florida. All others use north forwarding. It's not that many tracks though. Only 4 tracks. I mean, I'll have to see how that works out. I understand why. I wish the hump was set up in a certain way that, you know, allowed that to be better, but oh. So let's take a look at how things are shaping up now. That's interesting. That should be fine though, but interesting the Thomasville is well, some of them have to be trimmed a lot more than others, so that could be one of them. I can't remember how I had it set, and of course it's all subject to change. But dang, that looks good. In 32, I'll have to figure out what's going on with there. That's why I have some gaps, so if I'm missing something or something wasn't included, I can add it later on. The empty auto train, I forget what that's for. I think that's added on to some of the outbounds to give it a little bit of I forget, to be honest. I have to take a look at it, but as far as I know, that's what it's for. Thing going. Oh, that's when I had to stop too. Okay. Well, I heard a lot of banging there. I remember having to stop the Atlanta. Was that when I had to stop? I know there. Wow. It's 1, 2. Okay. Stop that. Remember Tampa? Huh. Still going. Okay. Fair enough. So we're about, I would say, I don't even know if we're even a third full, but we're going to get into the situation now. This is where I say it's never going to be a full yard, because what'll happen is the trim will come in and it will start pulling a lot of these bigger ones out of the way. Because a lot of them, you know, have trains that go out. So, makes sense, huh? I remember how it works with the Florida stuff is going to be interesting. I don't know how I'm going to store it in 4 tracks, because there is a lot of stuff that goes out. I may have to play around with the humps a little bit later on, because the way I have it set up right now is if there's only, you know, so many tags, and it really doesn't matter the block where it's going. So here's your north, here's your south, right? This I got no problem with. I got all the room in the world here. But here, now I'm limited. I understand why. You know, you don't want to be crossing. It makes sense because everything goes that way, right? Same principle when I tried to lay out this yard. Did the same thing. But you know, I had to, once I had looked at capacity, then I had to do it. So you know, I'm going to tweak those things. I'm not worried about doing it right now. I was probably getting a little bit too anal, to be quite honest. But you know, it's fine now the way it is. So let's go fly over. We got one more train to hump for tonight, and then we are back on track. While he's doing that, let's go take a yonder. And again, if I had reporting, I could take a look at it and see, you know, do I really need to hump it? I could add in, I could add in any variable I want to a working sheet, because all the live data supports it is right there, and that's all I would have to do. You know, I'm telling you, this, if any of you guys like the old Matrix for Barstow and the others, you're gonna love this one. And I'm not, it's not ready yet, but I can tell you right now, it is going to be impressive. Like I am stoked about it, honestly. How's these guys doing, the little guys here? I saw another one go down there. We're not gonna get much at this rate. It's like 5 trains, and this is where I'm thinking the random number generation thing, you know, I'm gonna have to tweak it a little bit, because what happens with the random numbers is a lot of times the little guys get shafted. I don't know about the others. I haven't really seen the others. When you set it up as a train, it's different. But this one here is for blocking. This is local industries. I don't know. It looks a little shabby, flabby to say the least. But if you're doing it every time a train comes through, and you're saying, okay, well now what's the probability of this? What's the probability of that? You're working totally on probability, and you're doing it 20 some odd times. That's not really how they do it. It should be probability of everything at once. What's the probability? What's the probability? How much you know, and then take it from there. But you know, it is what it is. Oh, there's the knucklehead error. That's where I actually like the knucklehead error, because it kind of says, okay, get yourself ready. Some work to do. Probably gonna send him. I want to get him out of the way. I don't know if I'm gonna put him down the ladder or if I'm gonna send him. It don't matter. I could send him down 6. I got most of the receiving yard, exception of some engines here. Good shape, so. See him from here. Yeah, I can. Actually, I gotta get him from this side anyways. Shifting. Once I saw that, then I realized, okay, he's on this, I can go 15. I was trying to stay at 10, or as close to as I could. Hopefully my mic's okay tonight, it hasn't been drifting. Speaking of which, let's take a look. So I want to see what application's doing this. See how it's going. Yeah, it looks like I'm up there. But we'll see. It's not this program that's doing it. I don't know what is. You should be able to hear me pretty good. I mean, we're both at 100. I'm at 100. The engine's at 100. I know the engine's loud, but Seems like a heavy one. Like I said, once it gets to that middle crossover. Usually it's about that speed anyways, like 7, maybe 8 miles an hour tops. This one's a heavy one, it seems. It let go a lot quicker than I expected. Still rolling. Momentum of the cars was pulling the train there for a minute because the speed all of a sudden fluctuated. But it's heavy. Gotta be. Oh yeah, I got those engines to play around with too if I want to mix up a lash up. That actually. But Chesy. Got a CN, but I don't know if I want to use that. Okay, we're gonna do 2.5 again. Be prepared because it's gonna hit real quick. Oop. Ah, 2.6 is good. Right around that point where it starts going up the hill. There we go. So from the tower, it looks pretty good. Oh yeah, I was gonna check. I should check out on that. That seems to be my biggest concern. The rest, I don't see it being an issue. Even that one, that should go far enough. So let me take a look at New Orleans again as things start going. Yeah, and once you have the monitoring, you know ahead of time. You know everything. And you can plan a whole operation or a whole day just by doing that alone. Okay, so here we go. 5 cars there for New Orleans. There's I'm looking at the engine. Oh, the Chesy engines. Those are the trims. That's it right there. What are you? You're an SD, aren't you? Look like an SD. Yeah. Okay. I'll pass on the CN engine, although my Canadian heritage would certainly love to see that, but you're a little too far south, buddy. I use them on the. I put them on the trains coming from Selkirk. Just to, just to add a little bit to it. Those are certain features I like about the program that Run8 does. I wish it had a probability though. I just wish it wouldn't just throw them out of midair. You know what I mean? What the hell am I doing all the way down here? I don't know what I'm doing. What I'm doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, it is moving. Oh, yeah, that's what I was doing. So I had 5 New Orleans. I knew there was something I was doing down there. 5 New Orleans on the front end. Now, Ooh. Ooh. Oh, that's going to be interesting. 14. I don't know about that one. I mean, it's going to be towards the end anyways, but man. 14 cars? Yeah, I think it'll make it. I know I put them on certain tracks because of what they could or couldn't do. Let's see here. I'm following the auto racks. Right at the end of that auto rack is 14 auto racks, which is a lot. Actually, well, I was gonna say it would have lined up perfect with that, but that's pushing it. Oh, bringing it out there. Well, that's auto rack. So if that's New Orleans right there, which is what I think it is. No, that isn't. It's that one. Okay, so 14. Yeah, I think we'll make it. I'll watch it. Let me see what's after it. Whoops. Oh, that's the last in that area actually. Other than Tampa. I want to call it Winslow. Whatever. Winston? Yeah. Tampa, Winston. So we got one for Tampa, one for Winston. Where are they going? In case I foul the lead. Of course I would go right beside it. Well, if I foul the lead, I'm screwed. I'll have to stop it and I'll have to get the trims set up. Or just leave it. Quite frankly, I could just leave it. No harm off my back. In fact, I probably could have had a receiving train in there now that I think about it, because I'm actually a little bit ahead. Never kind of thought about it that way, but like I could stop the hump, and I could have stopped it with one train in there, or I could have left everything in the receiving yard and just said go to town, let's run sessions again. So I'm not exactly sure why I felt it was necessary, but I knew I was in the process of doing the hump, and I wanted to see. So yeah, it is what it is. Looking good. Ooh, 10s and 11s. That's interesting. Well, that's for track 10. I think it's that one. I could be wrong, but whatever. And back to some slough. We'll figure those out eventually. Okay. See how long this video comes in later. 5:43. I said I'd be done at 7:30, so 6. Oh no, I started after 3:30. Can be under 4 hours. And barky dogs are starting. didn't do that. I swear I did not do that. I'm sitting here on the couch, just enjoying the view, and did not have my hands on the mouse whatsoever. Decided to do that anyways. Very strange. Oh, 41, so there's more stuff coming down. I'll wait to see that. Now. Not sure what, if any, trains I have set to depart. This will all play into the matrix as well, because I'll have the departure times. It's all about making the yardmaster or whoever does the yard position job easier. I am not doing a registry. For those that are familiar, what used to be on RTS for, well, actually, I think California still did it, and so does Florida. I think they have their own registry versions. They kept them. I only did it because back before AI, it was something that I could easily keep track of what was going on. Now, the way I run sessions, because I'm essentially the train master every time, or whoever's running the session as the host is the train master, and that's another thing too. I've been pretty much open to other people literally running the server in between. I'm going to run it at certain times, but by no means what the hell am I talking about? But anyways, by no means do I have to be the only one running the server. I can easily pass the files over to somebody else. As long as they have the industry config and they have everything that's set up the same way, I can send the files over. Now, I will, unlike RTS, towards the end of the last two servers, with the exception of well, even if you call the Selkirk server with Smiley, I have no influence on that server whatsoever, nor do I want to be. There, look at that, zoomed in on its own again. Trying to tell me something? Must be the mouse wheel is just very sensitive. Okay, here comes the New Orleans cars. This will be interesting, but these are the smaller sets. But I have no influence over what happens. So if something was to, you know, they want to run it a certain way, no big deal. I could give my opinion, but other than that, it was just like, okay, well, that's the way it is. That's, you know, it's your server. The difference here for me is if I do have people that participate by running servers with me, it will be the way I want it run. If they don't, they're not running it. They won't get the copies of the files. And I'll be happy to run it myself. You know, it's just I want it I want it my way in that essence. I wasn't like that before with and you know, despite what, you know, may or may not be people thinking that I was, you know, wanted to tell people how to run their servers, it wasn't the case. So, and the guys that hosted knew that. It's not a question. It's the platform they wanted and how they wanted to do things, which I totally understand. Have your own separate entity that's outside of RTS, do your own thing, and then, you know, that's the way they wanted to do it. So that's no big deal. Like I said before, it's no hard feeling. I wish we could have all... Yeah, I saw that stop by red signal. I wish we could have all stayed in the same thing, so to speak. And I would have pushed for another route. If I known there was another route, I wouldn't have gone for Florida. I would have gone for something else. But this to me had all the potential in the world, and unfortunately Selkirk had the potential, but it just didn't. It wasn't as fun for me. It has nothing to do with the route author. Like I've said before, and I'll say it again. It is to me what is the most beautiful route there is. It's the closest to home for me. So this is kind of, out of all of them, this would be, although I've never been here per se, but Folkestone is, I would say, the second. Yeah, I would say it's probably the second best place I would love to go watch trains out of all the places that I can think of. Buffalo's pretty cool, actually, too. It's starting to become a favorite of mine since I, met Ski and was able to go over there that time. Suddenly it kind of rekindled it, but Buffalo's not perfect. Buffalo has some pretty bad lulls. Actually, there's areas just outside of Buffalo that I enjoy. It's more interesting to go down there, and sometimes just watching both NS and CSX run side by side and out by Ripley in New York. That's kind of interesting to me. But but that's all local stuff. I mean, when I'm local, I go to all kinds of different places. And I don't really rail fan. The only place I rail fan locally now is Buffalo, New York area. And I haven't done that in... How did I get on rail fanning anyways? I haven't done that since Labor Day. I think that was the last time I was in Buffalo. That was the day I went down to Ripley area, and it was a fun trip. It was just a day trip. My son and I went, and it was fun. Actually, yeah, that was then, and then I just went to Fostoria not too long ago. So sorry, that's the last quote unquote rail fanning that I've done was Fostoria. I see trains where I'm at work. I'll see them in that, but I don't see much. We have a couple. We have a couple 10,000-foot trains that go through Niagara. That's how they run things down here. Hunter's old influence still carries on with CN, probably CP too, I would imagine. But now he's trying to do the same thing with CSX, which, good for him. This is 2003, so his old relics are going to run. Just like somebody who likes the steam era. It might be an old relic to a lot of people, but they're still going to run steam trains. Don't blame them. Not that I'm a steam fan. I understand. What the hell did I get on rail fanning? That's where you need the rewind button. Trains. So far, this one's gone smooth. Still a little early, so we'll see. I'd watch the speeds at the end and see if that has an issue. Well, we had one that went down the wrong track at the end, and we've had two, maybe, yeah, I think 2 coupler failures, maybe 3. Oh man. Okay, where is that? My son tells me that all the time. You're jinxing it. Where the hell is it? There it is. That's all you gotta do. Well, helps if I set it. Dad, you're jinxing it. Yeah, I know. I should know better. Okay. Never mind that stop for red signal crap. Here. I don't know what track that was. Interesting. Tampa and New Orleans is where the broken couplers have been. I don't know why. They're bigger. They're some of the bigger tracks, I suppose, but it's me. Oh, well, we'll see how it goes. No, I totally lost track where we're at, but that's okay. What would be bad is if it was a broken coupler and then that thing was heading back. But it always seems to be right at the end. Maybe it's that they're coupling at the same time that the other guys are heading back, and I know they run into each other. They're going down. I don't know. I really want to get... There we go. Let's see if it stays. The mouse moving around. Okay. Well, I don't know what I was talking about now because I was on rail fanning and I was on something else before then, but whatever. And the coupler. Dang, that looks good though. I still like it. As I was saying before, the Matrix, it is going to get cool. So, yeah, going back full circle now with the registries. I don't need the registry. Either I'm going to be here or whoever's running the server is going to be here. And that's the beauty about not also having requirements for access. You're either going to sign up for the session ahead of time or you're not. And that's going to be a requirement for access. All of it, you know, will be announced well ahead of time. Hopefully we'll have switch lists and all kinds of other great data that's available out there, but we'll see. And I'll have the train list, and hopefully I'll have it updated so that it's, you know, format. I'll be using the, what do you call it? Yeah. I'll be using Run8 servers. Get that set up again. I think Run8 servers is dead right now. Fortunately. Hopefully it's still going by the time I get around, because we definitely want that. Okay, so here comes some New Orleans cars again. I gotta watch this. What are we at anyways? That isn't New Orleans, is it? It is, but he's still a ways away, I hope. Oh yeah, I think we'll be fine. We'll find out soon enough. These guys are gonna test it. How many do we got here? I think we're fine. Fine, those are New Orleans too, I imagine. Yep. Okay, well, I'll keep an eye on it. What's those lights at the side of the tower go on at night? I never noticed that. If they don't, it's a shame, because they're really cool. He's cute. Is he looking right down? Oh yeah. Okay. Love the towers, and pretty cool. Actually, the one I like the most, the best tower I like out of all of them is West Colton. I think that's really cool because it's got a nice interior and everything. Looks really good. That's the last set of New Orleans coming now. Oh no, it's not. Well, I don't know because I got stopped for red signal in the way, so it must be. There's more coming. Gotta be more coming. That's it. Okay, last three coming now. I think we're good. How's the rest of the yard looking? Look at that. Good stuff. Is that what 5 trains was it off of? I can't remember. We did 4 tonight. Maybe we did 5. 4, 5, 6. I don't think so. Oh, we might have. I can't remember. Well, that's about as much as I can zoom in, but that's the last of it right there. And then I got the little stragglers coming in behind. I gotta watch this guy here. He might bounce back off him. Cumberland. If I have an outbound for New Orleans, because that's a damn good size chunk of track right. Oh, come on! Oh, it's a gondola. In the gondola. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. This thing? Yep. Well, I might let that one go. I had a broken coupler at the same damn time? Aye. Okay, I might let that one go. See, now it gets ridiculous because now I got Cumberland, oh my god. Yeah, hurry up with that update, guys, because it's gonna be a mess. Well, it is what it is. Baltimore, I think, is fine. What a freaking mess that is. So New Orleans, I stopped in time. I was worried about New Orleans, right? I had to stop 3 of them. What a pain. I wonder if I can, what do we got, Philly? As long as they're not on any of these tracks, I can probably let it go. then fish it out, maybe. I'm sure I can fish out one, but I really don't want to. Where's this at? Okay, so we're going to Philly. If I can fish out one set, then it'll be worth it. The rest is going to have to wait. So it's going down here, that way. Oh, so the one with the gondola, I imagine. Or was it? No, it's that one. It knew the gondola was screwed up. So there's nothing I can do about that. I gotta put that down as a quote-unquote issue, I guess. So they'll have to fish it out. Okay, so I guess we're gonna have to fish excuse me, I've gotta fish this one out. Hump controller's off. Take the auto pin puller off. And away we go. Yeah, it's too bad. I mean, honestly though, from a pro-con perspective, the fact that there's a 64-track hump yard is a huge pro versus having to deal with this. So, I'll take it. This means you have to be on top of what you're doing. And the manual overrides are coming in, so at least we'll have that. I'm not worried about speeds at the moment. As the clock is frozen, I'm just gonna act like everything is fine. Hunky-dory, and even my independent brakes after over 10 miles an hour, I don't care. Oh, I never fixed that broken coupler. Oh boy. No, don't stop. I never fixed the broken coupler. Gondola was New Orleans is sinking. Okay. Whatever. Good thing I caught that. I was so busy watching it, and then all of a sudden I saw cars going this way. Like, ah, crap. Jump, dog. So yeah, I'll definitely give myself an hour for each hump. I think that should be okay. See, the problem with that particular situation right there is that happened way up further on after the next switch. I don't know how it knows it. It must have a double check feature of some sort to say that there was a hump failure. I think what happened, if I recall, there used to be humps that would do this. They always have done it, apparently. And what used to happen was it would just humped bad, and you'd have to watch what, you know, cars you were dealing with, basically. Because we'd get in, I remember in Barstow, we'd see it every now and then. It was like, okay, this is weird. And you got all kinds of things to factor in, too. If, you know, you're hosting a session and it's not me, like, my lag is nothing. Because here I am, right? Even if I was hosting, my lag would be nothing. But somebody from, you know, across the pond or whatever, trying to operate the hump, well, he's going to have problems. Okay, let's see if this can go now. Try 2 notches. Hopefully there's no more. Oh, Jesus. Stop. We'll try 1 notch on the throttle. How about that? That thing really took out. Forgot, I don't have that many cars. That's pushing it, but... So apparently speed has nothing to do with it. So I can probably go back to 3 miles an hour. It wouldn't really matter. I might try it. Who knows? I think as a rule of thumb, once the reporting's in play, I'll be able to pinpoint which ones are errors and what. So that just so the trims know that they can set something aside or not have to worry about it. Deal with that. Controller's on, right? There it goes. I was worried about it for a minute. I assume it has nothing to do with speed, but then again, I'm not 100% certain of that. I'd rather just keep it at a somewhat safe speed and not try to over-test it. Good so far, I imagine. I hate that stop for a red signal. That's when my ears are like, oh, what's that? So yeah, after I'm done here, hopefully if all goes well, it'll be in the next couple of minutes. And we'll go on the forum and post a response to that message I had earlier tonight. Indeed, it is happening. I haven't seen it do it. It'll happen on some of the biggest strings. So I really didn't test it at that point. So obviously, some of the other guys have been able to test it much further than I have. So interesting. Three more cars. Hopefully, everything's okay now. Pretty cool to see, though, gotta admit. Not the issues, but just watching this. Okay. Not gonna relinquish anything just yet. Not going to save anything just yet, so I'll go in and shut it down. Of course, I'd make sure it's saved or whatever. Holy crap, that looks awesome. And look at the frames. That's what I'm talking about. Look at this. This is 20. I mean, okay, now, see, there we go. Now it starts hitting. Right there. If you're going to go right into it, okay, you're going to have to be careful. Like, right down here, maybe. Yeah. But I'm going to run it, as much as I can. As many tracks as I feel I need. Period. And then from there, we'll see how it goes. But it's like everything's in the bowls. I haven't had any more errors, so... Oh, that's the last one right there. This is in the bowl tracks. So, relinquish that, see if that helps, I don't know, but... Notice that? Hold on a second here. Is it looking at the shades? Okay, as soon as I relinquished my train... Nope, spoke too soon. There's the... So you get... when you get a view like that, it's recalculating a lot of shades and whatever else. I imagine that's what's dropping the frame. But honestly, I've seen a hell of a lot worse in Microsoft Train Simulator. In a just a regular yard. Let alone something like this. I don't remember anything this big in Microsoft Train Simulator ever that worked. I could be, maybe it's changed now, but I have not seen anything do that. That to me is pretty incredible. And I mean, this thing works pretty damn good, even with its issues. Like I said before, the ability to be able to sort that. And that's what they're for. They're these big giant hump yards are there to sort. Now I'm gonna make sure, that's something I'm gonna have to make sure I do. Well, should always do it anyways, is make sure everything couples together before saving for the night. Especially if this is the last thing you do. These guys have already been stopped due to issues. Yeah, I could AI it to the other end. one to play with. So what I'll do down there is he's coming that way. Down 6. We'll have to throw that in its way. That should stop him, hopefully. Or it's either that or I could go like that. I don't know how much of a room he gets there, but I'll throw him that way. So far, it looks like I better not jinx it, right? See how it bounced back? That's the issue that I think is going to be causing it. I'm hearing a lot of weird noise. Look at that. Look. Look at that. Did you see that? I'm surprised that didn't break a coupler at Moncrief. Never mind. I heard some noise and it was just like going back and forth, back and forth. Like, it was like, what the hell is that? That thing was just struggling to keep its ability to deal with the. It used to be. I think it used to be worse when I saw it. I used to see them like they would just go violently. Especially when kicking a yard. I used to remember seeing that. I don't know if it still does. I haven't kicked a yard in a while, but I think we got it all stopped, haven't we? Oh no, last one there. Is that it? Now, I don't know if it's because it's getting too many cars, it's gonna act a little bit more. I doubt it. See why it would at this point now. See if it makes some noise. Yeah, I was hearing the noise down the line. I'm like, what the hell's that noise? You know, that going back and forth, back and forth. The coupler physics is too bad you can't disable it somehow in the yard to just try to behave itself. Look at it. Wow. You got a brake at the other end, right? And it can't go too much further. It can give a little bit, but I mean, that one's fouling. Everything else looks in pretty good shape, though. Okay, that one's fouling. I would even call that one fouling. Slight fouls, no big deal. As long as they're not running into each other, I'm okay with that. Of course, you know, if you're gonna be pulling out stuff, you know, you gotta decide whether or not you want to be prototypical and say, okay, he's fouling, you gotta pull the other one first, or pretend it's not there and just do it. I'm gonna go for the latter, personally. That's just me. There's enough unprototypical things that are happening that I would less not happen, so. Anyways, this guy is going to go down to the end here, and I don't know. He might sit at the end. Maybe he's probably going to sit here. Hopefully. We'll see. But otherwise, it's looking good. Maybe I'll just stop. Who knows? Let's just stop. The best way to stop them is go to your world and just save it. And that's it. Okay, so that's it, guys. I am done for now. like I said before, I will be. See, I could have let it go while I was yapping. I'm going to go through the yard tomorrow night. About 9:30, 9:30ish or so, and I'm going to start setting up the reporting. And what that's all about is it's just basically going through the fake industries again, except you'll be able to see a bit of a light show. And if you stick around to the end of it, if everything goes as planned, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do a live stream, to be quite honest. I'll have to think about that one because it is very mundane, but it's not. Yeah, I may not do a live stream now that I think about it. Because last time I just put the music on and that got me through the mundane stuff. So what I may do at some point is introduce what I did. You guys have seen the fake industry videos already. You don't need to see any more of them. They're out there. If you're not too sure where they are, just do some searches in my channel and you'll find it. After that, I might be on later tonight, actually. I might be doing a live stream very shortly. In fact, I might be doing another live stream within, I don't know. What time did I have supper at? 6? Yeah. I might be doing a live stream within the next 30 minutes. So if you're interested in some, other video games or whatever, you might. I'm going to test this out and see how it looks, and we'll take it from there. But I'll be back on Wednesday night, hopefully to start running sessions again. Test sessions, that is. Not Wednesday, sorry, Tuesday. A little difference this time around. This week it's a little different, so it's going to be, I think it's going to be Tuesday, and that might be it. Because I might be seeing my son Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week. I think that's how it's working. I don't know for sure, but I'll tell you more on Tuesday. How about that? Okay, that's it for now. Anyways, have a good one, and we'll talk to you later. See ya.